heard all about it from his father.
Let's close it up. Four. There he comes right now. Inside. Look shot.
Basketball Podcast, also known as MLB Podcast, NBA Finals Edition. I'm Evan.
I'm Ja.
And this is our basketball podcast special recap, breakdown, and analyze players and teams in the finals from the previous games from the previous day. Game 3 in the books from last night. Game 3 in Milwaukee, with the Bucks having a chance to get back into their series on their home floor, and the Suns having their chance to essentially end this series in Milwaukee. Well, Ja.
One of those things happened. Which one?
Well, yeah, process of elimination. You know, it's like if game 2 happened, but everybody else came to play.
Yeah.
For the Bucks. That's essentially what happened in this game. Drew Holiday stepped up to the plate, finally having a good performance in these finals. Best game so far in these finals. 21 in the night with 9 assists. He played great. Bobby Portis, they love him. They love him. You know, Pat Connaughton played great. It felt like, did Booker and Middleton switch spots? Like, they swapped places?
Yeah, they probably did. Hey, man, home floor, I guess. I see.
Because Booker had one of his worst games of his career, and this was not the stage to do it. Middleton played a lot better in this game.
Yeah.
A lot better. Brook Lopez played good. I mean, the defense for the Bucks, spectacular. And, of course, you know, rounding all of that out, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak, the the two-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and one of the best players we have in the league today. Back-to-back 40-point games in the NBA Finals. That's greatness right there.
Hey, man, you know he was on some bad timing when he decided to wear black Air Force Ones into the arena. You know. Yeah, look at.
He wore black Air Force Ones?
Yeah, I just saw a photo of it. Dang it. Hold on.
That's got to be Photoshop.
I don't know what it was, but I swear he was wearing some black Air Force Ones. He was on some dangerous time, man. Look, Giannis, he knew what he was up against.
Mm-hmm.
He knew what was at stake. Again, me and you, we say, I'm not saying that this was on his mind or anything, but you know what happens when you go down 3-0 or 0-3.
Mm-hmm.
He put his team on his back game 2. He came up short because nobody showed up. This game, he does the same stuff again, but yet everyone shows up. Except for, Middleton had a better game, of course, just like what you said. And Drew had his best game. And everybody on the team connected. And this is what I talked about. Again, if Giannis in game 2, if the Bucks if everybody was clicking for the Bucks in game 2, along with Giannis's performance, there's a likely chance that they win that game 2. or is a more closer game. Or it was a closer game actually until the Suns run on their running.
Until Giannis got subbed out or took a rest and they went on a run.
Exactly. So like this just shows you the impact. As much as you say, I like to hate on him. No, I don't hate Giannis, believe it or not. But this these last two games shows Giannis's impact on his team. Obviously, he is their star. He is their superstar. He is their franchise. He is everything about them. They wouldn't be here without him. This once again clearly shows how much they need him and how much they need to utilize him in the right way. Because the way he's playing is just the same way he's playing the game too. Being aggressive, getting into the paint, Euro stepping, disrespecting. They switched his position and he played more naturally, flowed more naturally better. And you could just see it.
Yeah. I mean, Giannis, when he was in that paint, once again, no answer. No answer. He's just too much of a beast. He's too dominant when he gets down low. There's nothing you can do. And Giannis had it going all night. And not only that, but he made his free throws. Yeah, it's a lot easier when the whole 20,000 crowd is not chanting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
13 for 17 on the free throw line. They fouled him because they have to, because there's no other way to stop him. And he made him. He made him.
Yeah. Well, he made him also in game 2. It was like half.
Yeah. But this was a lot different.
Yeah. He's just a mission. He's just a man on a mission. Like, again, they're fighting for something really important here. And again, as a star player, you're going to get a lot of flack if you lose, regardless if you had to have a great performance or not, because they feel like, I don't know why they do this, but they feel like as a star player, you need to get everybody in check and in line. And it's like, there's only so much you could do, there's only so much you could do to help will your team. If they're not prepared or ready for it or ready to go to war, then it is what it is. There's nothing. It's nothing much. Like, you just got to keep it going for it. And I think the Bucks came up big for him. The Bucks came up big time for him. He had another dominant performance. And this time, they all showed up enough to say, hey, this is our star. This is a crucial moment. Let's go to work. And that's what they did.
Yep. And he did that. And that really sparked in that third quarter when it looked like the Suns were, once the Bucks got out to a pretty good lead in that third quarter, the Suns started hitting their shots. Yeah. A lot of it because of Cam Johnson, who had 10 points in that third quarter.
Yeah.
And with the assist making and playmaking of Chris Paul as well. But they got back into the game. They cut the lead within 4. But this Bucks team, after their defense, Suns just kept missing their shots too. And Holiday hit big threes in that quarter. Remember when I said Holiday stop shooting? And, maybe just, unless he's wide open? Yeah, he told me shut up.
Well, hey, LeBron told me to shut up. Don't forget.
Yeah, I remember that.
LeBron told me.
Yeah. But that was a lot worse. But anyway.
Yeah, that, and it's just to compare Holiday to LeBron, but yeah.
Holiday, 5 for 10 from 3-point line. He was knocking them down in that third quarter. I think he had like 3 or 4 threes in that third quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, man, he was on fire. He was on fire. And then add that with Giannis and the way he was playing, and the Suns was on like 76 for I don't know how long. It was sitting at 76 for a minute.
Yeah.
While the Bucks just kept rolling and kept rolling and kept rolling, and they was hitting their shots. They were hitting all their threes in that third quarter.
Yeah. Hey man, sometimes moments like these are gonna happen, and moments like these happen at moments where you don't want it to happen. In crucial moments like this, like again, Game 3 NBA Finals, your team has the opportunity to go up 3-0 and try to close out the series in the next game. And yet, like, your close game, third quarter, a crucial quarter, as we now look at as the most important quarter in the NBA now in today's game because of, thanks a lot to another team in the West Coast. Like,
Kings?
Yeah, the Queens. Yeah. It's just like you have you're close to momentum.
Mm.
Everything's going so well, and then something just stagnates and something just goes wrong, and like as a result, it's just like like now you got to find a way to get out the slump. You gotta, of course, you got to keep shooting. You got to keep trying to get a bucket because that's the only way it could stop. And the Suns just ran into a stagnant offense at that point.
Yeah, and it's not gonna help when your star franchise player is not playing the way that he should be playing. Devin Booker did not have a good game at
Exactly.
all. He had 10 points, 10 from Devin Booker, who's been playing great all postseason.
Yeah.
It was a bad night for him. He only made 3 shots.
Yeah. Well, stars run into rough patches like these, like like it has happened to the greatest of them, to the most legendary of them. So like
Mhm.
this is tough, this is hard, and for it to again happen on this stage is really a bad moment. But Devin Booker is a scorer, man. With a Mamba mentality. What Mamba told him to do: be legendary. Let this one go. Move on to the next one. Don't be soft like Sharman.
Yep, and that's just what he's got to do. This could be just been an anomaly. It's only one game. Obviously, it hurts that this one game is in the NBA Finals
Yeah.
when you have a chance to go up 3 games to nothing. But Suns still have the lead, and we'll see what happens in Game 4. But after this game, the Bucks do take this game in convincing fashion after that third quarter run and win this game by 20 and finally get on the board for their first finals win since, you guessed it, 1974, the last time they've been to the finals.
Yeah.
And it seemed like they got some life. However, Suns still lead 2 games to 1.
Well, yeah, man, they should have some life. They finally gained their momentum. They're on their home floor, and again, things should go well when you're on your home floor, shouldn't it? And I feel like now they got the confidence. Their momentum is boosted. Giannis looks like he's healthy, even though he just got injured like last series. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy, like and it's just like now the momentum is equalized between both sides. Now is your opportunity to say, hey, we won one game. Now let's tie up this series. We are still at home again. Let's tie up this series. We got everything on our side at this point.
Yep. But Team USA also said the same thing. But
We're not gonna talk about that, dude.
all right, let's move on to the predictions for Wednesday's Game 4. As we just talked about, the Suns did lose by 20 in Game 3, but they look to bounce back and get 3 games to 1 series lead, and then go back to Phoenix with the chance to win. The Bucks look to tie this series, which can be very pivotal to their final success, finals hopes of winning the championship. So this is a big Game 4 for both teams. Ja, what do you have?
I got the Bucks. I got the Bucks tying up the series.
You got the Bucks, and well, I got the Suns.
There we go.
It's a big Game 4. They play great on the road. I think they're gonna bounce back. I think that man is not gonna have as bad of a game that he had in Game 3. Uh, Chris Paul still gonna be between Chris Paul.
Yeah.
I think they got to hit a lot of their shots. They missed a lot of 3 pointers in Game 3,
Yeah.
which is kind of unlike them, especially how they was in that third quarter. And I don't think that's gonna happen in Game 4.
Exactly. And one thing I could tell you about this team is that they're way more consistent, and the Bucks could possibly be go inconsistent again, like they usually do. Like this Bucks team, the Suns team has been consistent throughout the whole playoffs, in which like outside the whole playoffs, they probably like 2 bad games,
The
2 3
Bucks
bad games.
or the
The
Suns?
Suns, the Suns
Yeah,
probably had like 2 3 bad games. Meanwhile, the Bucks has just been 50-50. You don't know what you're going to get from them. So again, even though I got them, the Suns could run into a situation in which their opponent gets inconsistent and it works in their favor.
Yep. You know, I want to talk about someone who hasn't been 50-50. Someone who's been about 90 to 100. And I'm talking about Giannis. Just real quick before we end the podcast.
Go ahead.
Well, a lot of these haters, like yourself, love to hate on Giannis, love to clown him, love to say the things that he can't do, the things that he's not good at, his weaknesses. What about the things that he's good at? We just saw this man drop 40 points, 40-point double-double, 40 points, 10 rebounds in back-to-back games. In back-to-back games.
For running and jumping.
And this is what I mean. So you're joking, that's fine. But a lot of people aren't.
Yeah.
A lot of people really have this disdain for Giannis, saying that he doesn't have skill. You know, he can't lead a team. He can't be a champion. All this should have left Milwaukee or whatever. I've seen that as well. But look at what this man is doing.
Yeah.
Win or lose, look at what this man is doing. He's led this Bucks team to the NBA Finals. He had 40 and 10 in back-to-back NBA Final games. The NBA Finals we're talking about. Not a regular season game, the NBA Finals. You dropped 40 and 10 in back-to-back games. There's only been one other player that's done that in back-to-back games. Do you know who he was?
MJ?
40 and 10 rebounds.
Dang,
Think of a big man. Think of a dominant big man. Think of the most dominant player you've ever seen play. Yeah, Shaq. That's the level of dominance that Giannis can be at.
Yeah.
Like I said before, he is the most dominant player since Shaq. There's nobody that can stop him. When he's going like that, there's nobody that can hold him. You need a whole group of players to stop him. There's a reason why the Raptors and the Heat had success against him. Yeah. It wasn't because of his lack of skill. It's because of him. It's because of how he plays. Because of how much he can dominate the game. Yeah. That's why you need those players to surround him. That's why you need the attention that they bring. That's why you needed Kawhi and Lowry and Siakam and Gasol and Ibaka to slow him down. That's why you needed Butler and Bam and Jay and Crowder to stop him and slow him down. Yeah. Is there a reason for that? Because he's too much of a beast. Because he's too dominant.
Yeah.
This is greatness that we're watching. So stop hating. Please stop hating.
Hey, you know what I said. You said it before and I said it before. People love to hate on greatness in the moment instead of appreciating it. And I have to admit, stop. Come on now. You know I'll be joking. But look it. Yes, I said it. I said it time before again. Even though I joke, I do feel like Giannis is lacking in many categories in terms of skill set, in terms of his skill set. But hey, again, when it ain't broke, no need to fix it. When you're blessed like that, man, physically, and you work tremendously hard to gain a skill set like that, in which you could average 40 in your sleep in terms of just what they so-called say, running, jumping, dunking, Euro step, 2 steps, that's it. Go for it all the time. And when you're being aggressive and dominant like that and not being passive, why not? And I feel like that's what Giannis has done. He has just taken advantage of what he got instead of focusing on worrying about what he doesn't have yet in his game. You know what I mean? Which is crazy because it's just the fact that if this is not his peak in terms of winning those 2 MVPs,
it's scary.
Yeah, exactly. It's scary. If he could add more, like isn't that scary enough that the dude got 2 MVPs off of the fact of that he doesn't have that most diversified skill set, and yet he's doing all this and he has 2 MVPs to prove it, and he's in the finals now. It just goes to show you, like, if there was no such thing as MJ, he could potentially be the greatest player to ever live.
Even with MJ, if he adds skill, which I like to say that he doesn't have, if he adds skill, he will be the greatest player of all time. If he adds those post moves that I bring up, those dribble moves that I bring up, the shooting that I bring up, he will be the greatest player of all time. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, but hey man, I can't disrespect MJ, so I would never ever.
It's not disrespectful.
Hey, I don't want MJ coming to haunt me, man.
He don't know you. He don't know you.
I heard a lot of people who suffer from the bad luck MJ curse, bro.
Oh yeah, Kemba Walker.
Yeah, calm down. Yeah, one. He's one of them.
Damn. Jared Wallace, Steven
All right.
Jackson,
This nigga,
Corey Maggette,
he's giving up all of them.
Daryl Henderson, soon to be Malik Monk, soon to be LaMelo Ball, soon to be Miles Bridges, soon to be PJ
Kwame
Washington,
Brown, God bless him.
Kwame Brown,
Jerry Stackhouse.
Jerry Stackhouse. But hey, that's past stuff. Also, want to bring up real quick Drew Holiday. Gave him a lot of slack for the way he was playing in the first 2 games, but he really picked up the pace, really picked up his aggression, and made his shots. It was incredible for the Bucks. So I want to give him some credit. Big props to him. They need him, and when he's playing like that, they win. And you saw what happened last night.
No question.
But all right, all that out the way. Thank you guys for watching today's podcast. Make sure to tune into tomorrow's podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, support channel, give us feedback, all that good stuff. He's tired.
And also follow IG and our TikTok down in the description below.
Yes, and of course, once again, I'm Evan.
I'm Ja.
And this is the Mind of Basketball Podcast.
NBA Finals Edition.
NBA Finals Edition.